Hi, today we're putting the fabric on the journal so it will expand. So this one will go up to about 3.5 inches. Putting the covers on the fabric, we did, I don't remember what else we did, if we did anything. So we did, we sewed the signatures in. So it does have signatures now, the covers, and then the fabric. So I hope you enjoy the video. And if you have any questions along the way, just pop in and leave a comment. Thank you and have a great day. My name is Esther and we are going to work on signatures for these. I have some pages that I've already folded that look like they're going to fit perfectly. So I have these, but I'm not going to use those in this because they're the bright color. Let's see what else I got. It's been a while since I've been in this box. I have some with pockets in them already. Of these. So what I'm going to do is try and make a pile. So what I want to do is to have, for each journal I need a set of 3. That's the way I want to do it. Let's see if I have enough. Definitely don't think I want the red. You can use that one. Either one of these. So I'm just making me a pile over here of what I got. So I've got different colored paper. So these are already pre-trimmed to the size I made them because I was working on some other stuff. And they're great. The pastels are that I can put them in here and they go with all that I have. So I do have these. Let's see what else I have in pastels. And this has some stuff already in it. And then there. So I can use these two to go in there. So if I want an extra hanging out, I can do these. I've got a couple of them that way. So let's do that. This is just some dyed papers that I have. Some of them are made little pockets in them. Enough to finish. So what I'm doing is I'm just pulling some out. As you'll see, this one here is actually an old calendar that is coffee dyed. So you can use all kinds of stuff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these in here. And I just want to figure out where I want them. I have 3 with 16 pages, so I could do one here if I think. Let's see what I think. Put one right here. I'll put one right there for sure. I think I want that pink on the outside. It just seems to go really well with these colors. Yeah. I'll do the same thing here. So see how it's starting to fill the journal out? It's all flush. I say flush, I'm not even sure what I mean by that. But let's see, this one can actually go back just a little bit further and the other one can come up one or two. See, what I was trying to do is keep them off of that. So I don't know if I want it. I'm going to leave them like this. So now what I'm going to do is put some holes in it. And I need 6 of these, so 3 for each journal. I might as well go ahead and cut them now. So do you have a favorite fairy journal that you like? I know there's Snowdrop Fairy, there's a Daffodil Fairy. I don't know how many that Emma has in her shop. I'll have to see if I can check on that. There's 4, 5. And I know she has some really good 3D, 4D, I don't know. They are dimensional projects. Really cool. You need to go check them out too. So I'm not going to do any measuring with this because you're not going to see the spine. So to me, it doesn't need to be measured. I do want to make sure everything's going in the right direction before I start sewing it in. And it's kind of sitting to where I want it. So what I'm doing is I'm going to take my awl and I'm going to punch a hole up here, one in the middle, and then one down here approximately an inch to 3/4 of an inch from the top and bottom on the other ones, and then this one approximately in the middle. So I do have other videos that show in more detail what I'm doing right now. I think I'll have to see if I can't talk and sew apparently. Oh, and I've got crooked over here. Sometimes you just have to be patient with your paper and do like one at a time. Sometimes you get it in without the first problem. As you see, I am just really got mine all mixed up here. And you know why that is, because I didn't clamp it down. Let's see. So what I should have done was pin it so it wouldn't have all that problem. So I got it in there, but I don't see what it meant. There it is. And you need to kind of be careful and try not to catch your thread. Because if you do, it will put a knot in your stuff that you don't want. See if I can get it through there now. Do not know which paper got so out of order. And now I just pulled it. So now I'm going to pull this on each side, just kind of gently right in here. I'm going to check and make sure this is taut, but not so tight that it breaks it. And just sew it in. This time I'm going to see if I can clip it in. See if that will help. So again, I'm looking at my pages, making sure everything's going the direction I want. And I'm going to clip these this time. So I'm just poking holes again in the middle. So I've got 3 holes. See if you can wiggle it right. You can get that through. If you can wiggle your tongue just right, it will go through. Let's put it that way. Hold your tongue. You heard that saying. And see, I am going through my threads. I need to pull that back out. Try not to get my thread caught in there. Yeah. Again, one on each side of the middle string. So if you're going to put signatures in, you need to do it before you put the covers on in the spine, because with this particular journal, it will not work. You won't be able to put any in. So the first one I did do with the, let's see, this one's turn around and looks like. I didn't put a signature in because I didn't really think about it. But all the others I have put signatures in the middles, or in them like this. This gets a little tricky when I'm trying to use this particular needle. So I am in the middle of my thread right there, and I don't need to be, so I'm just going to take and try and separate it. I don't know if I can or not. Yeah. So when you split your thread, that just puts a knot in your thread and causes all kinds of trouble. Well, I did have a pencil around here. So I'm using cardstock chipboard, I think is what it's called. So now I want to make my covers, and I want this side to be flush, and then I want this other side right here to come out about right there to where it covers up the edge of the signature, but there's still room to protect the cover. And then this, same thing, I want like 1/4 of an inch to an eighth to a quarter on the top and bottom. and save these. You can eventually find something to do with them. So I've already cut or measured this way, so I'm just going to go ahead and trim it. I think I'm going to have enough for both pieces of the top, or the front and back, whichever way you would like to look at it. So I can actually just use this to measure for the other journal, the top and the back. So let's see. And then over here, I feel like I'm crooked. So there's one. And I'll tell you, this does slip around some. But I want my top and bottom to be the same size. So then we're going to measure for the inside. The inside I want to be, so right here we're even. I want it to be about, see right here, 1/4 of an inch down. So I'm going to mark right in here. And the same thing over here, I want 1/4 of an inch. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So see how they're just a little edge shorter than all the way around. And we're fixing to mark these as top and bottom. Well, don't get confused. So I'm doing the same thing. I'm just using this one to measure. I just broke my pencil. So these go together so we can say inside, back. And I'm going to sign my name. Put the date. I'm going to say it's 6/15, 6/14. So somewhere around in there. I don't know, about 24. And I got to make my little face. And this is going to be inside front. And I'm going to try and draw a little line back here. Can't use my pencil. Let's see. Just so I can see on both sides which way my paper's going. Outside, front. Inside, front. So we need to cover these, and then we'll be, before we actually put them together like they need to be, we'll put in the lace in the middle. I need to do like a PDF step for this journal. So we got our pages in, or signatures in, I should say. We cut the covers, so I'm fixing to actually cover this. So we're going to take this and try and center it about there, I think that looks good. I'm just going to take my pencil, which I need to sharpen again. It's still sticky from the first time around. And I like it better when I put my markings on it, and I can see it. So I'm going to trim these corners. leaving a little bit of extra there. So I do like starting with the top, even though sometimes I forget. I try to stay in one direction. Not that I guess it matters, but so I'm going to pull that over and I'm going to need to trim these corners just a little bit more. Not much. This one's probably okay. So I'm trying to think of some ideas of what we can do for ephemera and stuff to go in this journal that I haven't just done in the last few weeks. So I don't know. I am redoing the same book because I like that style of the book. And then we have a Christmas in July coming up. And I've started talking a little bit about this. I haven't seen it being posted yet. Well, I haven't looked today, so she might have posted it today about the collaboration for the whole month of July. It's Christmas in July. And I did offer a free digital to the design team that they had a choice that I think there were like 9 or 10 people that donated digitals. So you can definitely check around and see what all everybody comes up with. While I'm doing it, do it this way. And see, this one will go on the back right here, just like that. They need to make something to get that glue out. Like a little scoopy something, and then just put it on there. There's always so much glue left in here. Look at that. Yeah, I think I'm going to print a couple more of these out from my outside. Just because these are not fitting the way I wanted them to. I want to make sure that goes wrapped around really good. This side just does not seem to want to fold right. So I'm not really sure what's going on with me today. I have not been in the creative mood, but I'm trying to get in the creative mood. So I have some of the video for tonight. I don't know if I'm going to get it up tonight. It's Monday afternoon, actually, to be precise. And I've had several days to get it. I just have been in, I guess, a depressed mood or something, because I just am not. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. I'll use that for the next one. So I'm taking my fingers and I'm trying to make sure it's rolled good, because one of them wasn't rolled good. So I've taken and I've made this. It's long enough this way, 6 inches, and then this way it's 4. So what I'm going to do is cut some lace, and I think I'm going to go with this lace. So I'm going to cut this at 4 inches, and I'm looking right here at my markings. And I am standing up. That way I can kind of tell what I'm doing better. So I can use my scissors and cut this piece right here. Or I can take and carefully cut it that way. So we got the covers on, and I do know the light. I do know that I cut out a lot of the covers as far as how to get them on there, because I have quite a few videos now of putting the paper onto the covers. So if you do have some questions and you are wondering how to do it, I'll try and link a playlist below, try and remember, so that you can go back to one of those and find out what the playlist is. So I am working on 2 journals here. That's why I've got 2 pieces of fabric with 2 pieces of lace. So these are all the same size. So that means these are my covers. So when you look at this one, it's a little bit smaller, if you can see. I don't know if you can see it or not. It's just like 1/8 of an inch all the way around smaller. I'm going to put one of these on the front inside, and then one of these on the other front inside. Let's see, put these 2 together. Okay. Then I've got my fronts and my backs. And the way I'm going to do them, I believe, is this is the outside back, outside front. So those 2 can go together. And then these 2 should be the outsides also. So what I'm going to do first, like I said, I cut these. You can measure your fabric. You want it just a little bit less than right there. I just ripped mine to get all this nice fraying going on. And what I also did was, so it's that length. I cut it at 4 inches because already this, without anything in it, is at least 1.5 inches. So I'm going to need 1/4 of an inch of room. So we're going to do this one at a time so I don't get confused. Okay. So we're going to start with our top cover, with our covers, however we want them to go. So this one's going to be my front. This one's going to be my back. I'm going to use this ruler, and I want to do 1/2 inch. So right here, what I'm doing is I'm looking right here at this line as it comes to here. So if you can see right here, this line goes down the edge of the book. So when I have it, actually that's 3/4. I want 1/2 inch. Yeah. So see how my ruler, that first line is the 1/2 inch. I'm used to it being the second line. So let me move over. but I want to leave it at that. And I'm going to move over. So 1/2 inch. I'm going to do the same on this side. And I can use marker or pen because you're not going to see it. So again, making sure my tops and bottoms are going the same direction. Get out my fabric tack. And so what I did was I just sewed all the way around and I have it more or less tacked down. So what we're going to do is, with the right sides going down, we're going to put this, line it right up with this mark that we made. And I want it kind of even. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is figure out which way my direction's going. That way I know they're sitting right. I want this one in front. I think that's prettier. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to sit it. So basically what I'm doing is I'm sitting this edge right along that edge, right there, and I'm going to glue this flap down. So that's what I'm doing here, and it's a little bit easier for me to do it this way. So I need to turn it upside down, make sure my directions are going right, and here's my arrow, and it's going this way. So it is upside down right now. What I'm going to do is put some of this glue on here for now. Sit this right here on the edge. Leave a little room down there and a little room up here. And then I'm just going to fold that down and glue it. And I want it right at that edge, because I got glue on where I shouldn't have. I'm having to be a little more careful. So I want right there on that edge. I get this up without having glue. I got glue on it. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to glue it right here. And I do usually have something behind it just to help it sit up. That one's wet, so I don't want to put it there. And get this off again. Okay, maybe that will work. So I'm going to put glue all over this one. Pull my strings out so they are not in the way. And then I'm going to lay this down. And kind of slide it where it needs to be. So right here's my edge. I'm just going to firmly rub against that to get some of that glue spread around. I don't want to use my wet drink. So then we're going to do the same thing on this side. I don't know why this is so awkward today. I've been this way all week long, just awkward. So I'm going to glue to this line because that second one was in the wrong place. Okay. So what I usually do is I try and take this and line up my board on that straight line here. So I can put this right there. And then I can just kind of move it until I get about where it needs to be at on this line here. And then I've got this to where it's kind of going straight on to the back. So then we're going to take this and we're going to pull that fabric. I'm going to fold it like that. So see how I've got it to where it's that way your fabric is not getting caught. I'm going to put my glue right here again on this part. And I do not want to get it down here. Now what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to glue this down. Kind of want to have my board down here and that board square. So it needs to be right on the edge right there so that when your book opens like that, it will open pretty good without having an issue. The same with this one. See how it's not catching on anything? It's because I have it just enough over there that it's far enough over. So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Wrote upside down on it. Definitely check your top and bottom before you glue it down. Although you can't, with fabric tack, you have a few minutes that you can play with it, a little bit of wiggle room. I don't know about a few minutes, I should say that differently. So this girl's up there. I need to turn this around. I'm going to do the same thing like I did on the front. Just leave a little bit of the edge there. So in this video I went pretty quick because I have two videos or two journals and I didn't want to make the videos really long. So what I've done is cut out a lot of steps. I'm putting this paper in between because I'm fixing to sit it over here. And I had glue in places that I didn't want it. So I'm going to sit it over there for a few minutes while we work on this one. So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our outsides. That's the top. This is the top. What do I do with it? There it is. So again, I want ½ inch. So I'm going to the first line on my thing. I'm going to flip this one around so I can get it right. So if you measure this way, it should be ½ inch, which is right there. I think I'm off a little bit up there. I must have wiggled or something. So when you do this, you're looking all the way from top to bottom because if it wiggles just a little bit like that, see, it's off down here, but up there it's still where it needs to be. And that's something you learn in quilting when you're using a ruler like this. This is a quilting ruler. So we're going to do the same thing. Stick this right up to there and glue it. Just putting glue on this outside part. And then taking right sides down. And I'm looking right there and right down here. You can measure it if you want to. I don't usually measure that much. I just measure that long line. Then I'm going to take this, and again, I see my handwriting right there, so my top should be up here, but just take a quick peek, and it is. And I do this because I've done it several times and messed up. And it is so upsetting to have to take your creation apart because it's upside down. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this right about there. Need to go up just a little bit. So one thing I'm wanting to do is kind of let that fall open, but at the same time not let it pull on it. So I'm making sure I'm right there at this fold line. And I have glued this in too far this way, and it's made it hard to open. So I'm trying to get to where I check that before I get that far. Okay. So now I need the front cover. That's the name. So again, we're going to check and make sure all the ladies are going, the fairies, whatever you'd like to call them, but they are going in the right direction. And I'm just going to lay it down again. So if you've done bookbinding and you have worked with the Coptic stitch, you may be familiar with with this particular way of putting your tops and bottoms together, your covers. I'm going to flip it back over, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to glue here and then line it up like that. And now, since I don't have that paper, I can line this edge. So right here, this edge with that edge to make it straighter, or straighter. There's another word for it. I don't know what it's called right now. This also helps get your fabric in there where it needs to be if you're trying to get it really straight. Okay. So again, I'm going to do the same thing. Is just pull this up, move the fabric out of the way so you can get in here. And you're going to glue that down. And there's different ways you can glue all this. Do your gluing. This is just the way that I do mine. I know that Rhonda, she works with me quite often on my digitals. She was working on an envelope journal like this, and the way that she glued the envelopes together was different than the way I did, because I was struggling to do her way. And that's just the lesson to learn from that, is that everybody can do. You may not be able to do it one way, but you may be able to do it a different way. So see how that folds out very nicely. We still got all this room right here. This is excess space, so this will be able to open up. I don't rip it apart first and get the rest of it on. So this is not really directional, but I got the direction going that way, so I'm going to just, and I want my strings at the bottom too, so that helps. So I really am curious to what you think about the envelope journal, the expandable envelope journal. So there's a lot of different kinds of journals or envelope journals that you can make, and there's still a lot more. That's just what, you know, there's always new inventions, and sometimes it's not that it's so much new, it's just that it's gotten lost. And in the process, it got forgot about. But you can always bring it back again. And here's this one done. Same thing, I'm going to let it sit too. That needs to go up just a little. I think that's right. That looks good. So I didn't put fancy covers on, although I wanted to, but when we got to that point, they just weren't fitting. So what I'm going to do is let both of them sit and finish drying. And I'm actually going to grab some books over there to sit on them. So I hope you enjoyed the video and that you learned something. If you have any questions, please let me know. And it'd be great if you hit the like button, the subscribe button, and leave me a comment. Tell me what you think about this, or what you're doing this summer, or what color your favorite fairy is. There's all kinds of options that you can leave me. Just put an emoji. You don't even have to leave nothing. Just to do a little smiley face or something. I'll know you've been here, and then I'll come over and say hello. And if you have a channel, I'll go follow you. Thank you guys, and have a great day.